Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. The podcast so bad we really just need to take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at DocSimmons17. I will go ahead and give the hot tag to my partner so he can introduce himself.
Yes, sir. It's the Outlaw Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social medias at Z Hendricks Brand, or look us up together at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram. Or if you want to get on the Twitter, Country Air Brand. And I'll pass it to the most beautiful person in this group.
I'm assuming that's me. Gunner Wicks on all the social medias, no spaces. Also on the Twitter. I'll pass it off to my favorite zebra, Perch.
So guys, I'm Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the Ref Brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Waffles. We gotta have a little discussion about some Waffle House, Perch.
Ooh. I had the House of Pancakes this weekend, and I went straight for the waffles, no questions asked. and I asked for just one chocolate chip pancake on the side, and what came back was a stack of about 4 chocolate covered way overkill.
Too much.
It went nicely with the waffle though.
There's no such thing as too much of a good thing.
I like the waffles and pancakes to deliver a KO every time I eat it, where I've got at least a technical knockout. I want to be knocked out every time.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure we have a lot to talk about tonight because it was a very eventful weekend for all of us. So Perch, why don't you start us off with our banger of the week?
Ooh, banger of the week comes from a new song from The Killers, but it's not a new altogether, but they remade one of my favorite songs of all time, Dustland, Fairy Tale. Good song. They brought in Bruce Springsteen for this version. So it's Springsteen and Brandon Flowers killing it on probably one of my favorite Killer songs of all time, Dustland.
That sounds like a good mix of people.
Yeah, it really is. The song's probably 10, 12 years old, but to breathe some new life into it. I don't know if there's anyone as happy as I was, but but no doubt that's the banger of the week.
Hey, your victory is your victory. Don't let anybody ruin it.
Absolutely.
All right. So yes, can't go wrong with the Killers. I'm sure we've had them on as a banger of the week before, but let's just keep it moving and talk about what we've been watching this week. I can start first because I did not watch Hell in a Cell. Right now I'm watching some old school WCW cruiserweights, Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero. Watched a lot of AEW. Haven't seen Dynamite from last week, but I did get to watch Elevation today. Caught up on Dark from last week. Got to see the Dante Martin Sonny Kiss match, which was awesome and super athletic. And that running diamond dust from Dante is super amazing. And got it. And today on Elevation, I'll talk about it later when we talk about what we did over the weekend. I got to see the homie Lord Bingston versus Will Hobbs. Wasn't much of a match, but the homie showed out, so props to him. Perch, what have you been watching?
And this week got to watch NXT as it was happening, and one of my favorite moments that I've seen in modern pro wrestling came at the hands of LA Knight cutting a promo after winning that $1 million championship. He had $1 Million Man right there in the center of the ring with him, and really just proclaimed how accomplishing it was and rewarding it was to do it, and really just building it up as a great moment. And he delivers a line, now that I have everything I ever wanted, it's time to drop what I don't need. And he rears back and socks $1 Million Man right in the face, and Ted DiBiase takes a gnarly bump. It was awesome.
That has been one of my favorite storylines in NXT is LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase.
Oh, it's just so good. It harkens back to just old school storytelling. I've got something that you want, and you can't have it, and you work hard to earn it, but you still can't have it.
Yeah.
And Million Dollar Man has been one of my favorite characters of all time. To see him modern day, in there in an awesome segment, furthering both those guys. Cameron Grimes comes in like a ball of fire, just dropping LA Knight with a hot comeback and a clothesline right outside the ring. Yeah, that was an awesome moment. And you see, veterans or stars in wrestling on TV come back. Every once in a while, it's cool to see when they're used into a storyline like that and really interwoven to get the most out of it.
And it's working so well with Ted, for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a well thought out, scene or story that they're playing. So I really enjoyed that. That caught my eye, and I had to say, damn, that was one of the best promos I've seen in a long time. It had me hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, and AEW was pretty good. What was that? The starting match was inside the hexagon. That was pretty sweet. I enjoyed the Jake Hager against Wardlow match. It was a different take on a 10-minute match. It was hard hitting, and it really just shows that pro wrestling is what we want to make it, and you can get just as much out of it in a different setting. That was still just a regular, two big guys going at it, and you put them in a different environment, and it creates a whole different feel altogether. So I enjoyed that concept a lot, and I saw that. I like that they put it to open too. So all the questions of what's this going to be, well, it was all answered within the first 10 minutes, and I enjoyed. And the other team was the Penta, Frankie Kaz and Eddie Kingston taking on the Good Brothers and Young Bucks. That was good. Just good action all the way around. Loved it.
Nice. All right. Our resident biography specialist, Gunner, what have you been watching?
Let's see. I watched Hell in the Cell. Are we holding off on our thoughts for that one or no?
I think only you and Zach have watched it, so you guys can talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. Overall, I think it was a weird show. Like, I don't know. There's some weird finishes. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, I thought, had like an awkward finish. I don't know. The whole show is, I don't know. Nothing like very big happened that you could like take away. Nothing memorable, either good or bad. It's just kind of a show, which I guess for Hell in the Cell is not a great thing, because those matches are supposed to be like big and brutal. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that one. I watched the Bret Hart documentary on A&E. That was really awesome. I always like documentaries. A lot of cool, interesting little tidbits that I didn't know. I think that's it. I think that's all I watch. Yeah.
All right. Zach, why don't you talk about what you watched?
Yeah, so I've been watching. I watched Hell in a Cell. Didn't really catch the Rhea Ripley Charlotte match. Was out. Had to go do some stuff, but yeah, I agree with Gunner. The pay-per-view, it was a pay-per-view, but there wasn't like nothing really that stuck out. I will say, like, we had kind of like an argument about the finish of the Bobby Lashley Drew McIntyre match. I liked it, but like Val did not. Like, what were your thoughts on it, Gunner, the finish? Did you guys see the finish before we talked about it, Perch and Doc?
I have not, but go ahead. I'm either going to watch AEW or that after this.
Right. So I'll explain the finish and then I'll let Gunner like get his thoughts in. So the finish is like, so the story is like, everyone knows if Drew loses, he doesn't get a shot as long as Bobby Lashley's champion. So he's hit Claymores, he's hit the hook DDTs, Ref bumps everything, like hit the Claymore. The ref is counting 1, 2. Fucking MVP pulls him out. Finally, he's lining up for the Claymore. Right before he goes, MVP catches him by the foot, and Bobby Lashley does a simple schoolboy roll up, pulls the tights. 1, 2, 3. Now, what are your thoughts on this, guys?
Yeah. I mean, I feel they were trying to go for the emotions that you're feeling right now, and that what the hell?
Disappointment.
Yeah, the disappointment. I think that's what they're shooting for. I mean, it could probably have been done a better way, especially if I mean I'm all about protecting finishers, so that's a personal thing, I guess, on my end. I'm not a big fan of
Well, he didn't hit the Claymore. He was going to hit the Claymore.
Oh, he did not hit him at all in the match?
Oh, he hit it. One time he hit
He
the
hit it
Claymore
earlier.
like, when the refs got pulled out for counts, but at the end he did not hit the Claymore.
Yeah, like Bobby never kicked out of the Claymore.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bobby never kicked out of the Claymore.
No, ref got pulled.
I don't know. Maybe then I'd have to watch it.
I'll say, like, here's what I liked. Because Val was saying she expected something bigger. I told her that Bobby's already beat him with the lock and put him out.
Yeah,
He's beat him with spears. This is just a fly, in my opinion, like for the story that I thought, this was a fly on the wall that Bobby Lashley tried to take out. At this point, this is the last time he'll ever see it. If he can finish, he would at any length. He doesn't care about doing something big.
yeah. He just has to get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so pulling the tights, schoolboy, small, even though it's so simple, now I don't have to deal with you ever again.
Yeah,
Is my thoughts on it.
yeah.
That was my thoughts on the whole story. Like, I was like, I get like people want something big, but they've done big already. So I just like, nice little simple roll up just to be like, I'm done with you, and I beat you with a roll up.
Yeah.
If I could do some like fantasy booking for a second. What I was kind of thinking when the match ended, what would be cool, even though I knew it wouldn't really happen, is MVP grabbed Drew's leg. Bobby got distracted. Bobby rolled him up 1, 2, 3. Bobby runs out of the cage quickly, grabs the title, and then MVP was like in there for a few seconds before he got out of the cage. And Drew just sat there with like this dumbfounded look on his face the whole time, just kind of like frozen for like 10 or 15 seconds. And I was thinking, what the dude has to do with MVP still in the cage is shut the door, lock it back up, and just beat the absolute shit out of him. Because logically, I was thinking, like, what would Gunner do? That's probably what Gunner would do. He'd get pissed that he was distracted. He wants revenge. So, like, beat the hell out of a manager. Bobby can't get in. And then that way, that could set up another match. Yeah, Bobby said, like, Drew couldn't have another title shot, but now Drew beat up Bobby's manager, it pisses him off, so that maybe grants him another title shot in the future because he wants to fight him again. I don't know. But I was just like hoping for that aggression out of McIntyre's character. So I think something that WWE does a lot with all their like big baby faces is they try to turn them into the next John Cena. And one thing that like really attracted me to Drew McIntyre as like a cool character was like his aggression and his like badassery. And I feel like the last couple months he's kind of lost that edge because they try to make him like almost too much Mr. Nice Guy. Like he gets soft.
Yeah,
he's not cool anymore. That's what they did with Roman. Roman was an awesome badass. Then I think the main reason people rejected him because they tried to make him into John Cena, and he lost like that edge of being like cool.
I agree.
No,
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm not a big fan of lawful of having too many, I guess I should say, lawful good baby faces. There needs to be.
Like that happened. Yeah, sometimes isn't like a bad thing, but I feel like every big baby face they try to make that thing, and that's just not going to work.
Yeah, you need some variety.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought that would have been a perfect opportunity for Drew to get like that edge back and make him interesting as a character again. But didn't happen. It is what it is, and now I guess I look forward to whoever Bobby's next opponent is going to be because it won't be McIntyre again.
Hopefully Brock Lesnar.
Yes, hopefully Brock Lesnar.
But after the pay-per-view, they actually had a Broken Skull podcast like directly after.
Watch that too. Yeah, that's great.
Stone Cold and Mick Foley. It was very good. It was very good. Like things that Foley said, things that I've seen on that thing, I'm going to legit. I'm going to take now, like for myself. But like just some things that like Foley talks about, it was so good. Like his mind is like, I mean, obviously he's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest. So like his mind, but like to really hear it's like, oh man, like you definitely think more different than anyone else.
Mm.
I watched AEW, I watched Dark, I watched Elevation. I seen like Jason Page's match, Travis Titan's tag match, watched Cal Hero's match. Um, anything else? Oh, because of that Mick Foley Stone Cold podcast, I actually watched. If you guys haven't done it, it's on YouTube. It's a 4-parter. Like look up JR interviews Mankind, and they pretty much have Mick Foley do a promo in Mankind's character, telling his life story, but like his real life story, but in Mankind that develops the story of Dude Love.
Mm.
It was so good. Like that promo, like that promo was so phenomenal. But other than that, just tape watching and like kind of gonna be watching more promos.
Yeah, I got try to work on a promo after this.
Mind.
Huh?
As I got one for myself in mind, I'll tell you about it later.
Oh yeah, I got one in mind. I just gotta do it. All right. And with that said, let's go ahead and talk about what we did this past weekend. I think the first person I want to hear from is Gunnar, who seems to be very excited and happy about his experiences over the weekend.
Totally. I'll start off with Friday. So Friday was me and Raven versus Chucky and Sierra in a hardcore match. It was fun. It's cool. ICW is always a good time. Chucky hit me over the noggin with a steel chair. Not cool. And also they picked up the victory. Super not cool. So yeah, that is what it is. After party was fun. Got some beers from Eugene. Oh yeah, Eugene was there. I almost forgot about that part. I got to so during intermission, fans were taking pictures with him, and I was set up like perfectly behind some of these pictures. So I did what I thought would be fun to do, and just like gave a creepy, weird, awkward look on my face and tried to sneak into all these pictures. And I saw some online, and Gunnar did make a lot of these pictures. So I'm pretty happy about that. Eugene also said I had great face paint, which is one of those like I feel like I made it moments.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to talk to him a little bit and hear that stuff. And then Saturday, BCW, me, Tony Atlas, Frankie DeFalco versus Tyler Sean and JP the Curse. I guess leading into that match it's just me and Sean, singles, one-on-one. The Curse came out. I ended up getting some kind of white powdery substance in the eyes by a JP, turned around, ate the finish from Sean, 1, 2, 3. Not too happy about it. Frank came out, told me that if I wanted to beat up all 3 of them, which I very much did at that point, I needed 2 other partners. So what came to my mind was Tony Atlas and Frankie DeFalco as my 2 partners, because why not? Tony was there. He's never there. Frankie, I think, needed to get back in the ring again. So I brought them both out of retirement, as one does,
Baller status.
to take on the Curse. Yep. So 3-on-3. Before that match happened during intermission, I got a lot of good advice from Tony, a lot of like cool stories, little tidbits of information. I kind of wish I could tell the public, but I feel like I probably shouldn't. Those are just memories best kept in my brain for me to treasure for the rest of my life. Really awesome. The match itself was very memorable. I'd say so. Like nothing in that match was really called. It was all just. It was what it was, and everything we did worked. And I was freaking out before the match and during the match because before I get into Gunner mode, I tend to freak out a lot in my own head. But during that match, I'd say I was Gunner about 50% of the time, and the other 50%, I was just me, and I was taking in every moment I could and cracked probably way too many smiles than I should have. and and just took it all in, and it was amazing. Something that I'll definitely never forget. And just overall, like, probably one of the best experiences I've had so far in wrestling.
Hey, nobody said Gunner is a monster who doesn't enjoy wrestling.
This is true. It's
Sure.
very true.
You can enjoy it. All right, Percival, how was your weekend?
No, man, just made mine hearing about Gunner's
I
weekend.
know.
That's awesome.
Stop.
I was excited to hear Gunner's weekend.
No, me too. Me too. It just rushes, a lot of memories through my own mind too, of just the amount of times and learning experiences and just life moments we've had in that Elks Lodge, let alone with the crew that we have around us. That's awesome to hear. Someone else's recollection of having that too. So pro wrestling does things, man, and we're all blessed to be a part of it, and we love it more than anything. Once in a while, you get a weekend like that, and it's even cooler than everything.
Yeah.
So,
Well, one other quick thing I forgot to mention. The ending of that match was me spearing JP for the victory. But besides that, Tony Atlas wore these yellow boots that he said was the only pair of wrestling attire that he has left from his career. And they were boots that he wore before Hulk Hogan got big, and he had to stop wearing them because Hulk got big and Hulk wore yellow boots. He couldn't anymore. And I was just like sitting there in the back staring, like he was sitting on one end of the hallway, I was sitting on the other, just like staring at his boots at one point, just like thinking if those boots could like tell the stories of all the people they drop kicked in the face, dude, that would be absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the goal is to write our own legacies like that in our gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just something that came up in my mind real quick. Sorry, Perch, you can continue.
yeah, no, please keep it going. I love it. That's awesome. No, and it does make you think for a minute. If someone's gear could talk, man, for real. When we see any amount of veterans. I remember having a moment with Greg the Hammer Valentine, and it was a unbelievable experience. And thinking that same thing, how many times have these boots right here been
Mhm.
inside the ring? Or what's the story of them? Or maybe he didn't have them for too long, but got them from someone who was like, "Hey, I'm getting these boots for Greg the Hammer Valentine." I mean, just makes you think, and it gives a respect for everything that we
Especially,
get
I
to
mean, maybe
experience.
not so much for you, Perch, but what it takes to get gear, it is a battle in itself. So
Yep.
imagining the story that any piece of gear can tell is probably something worth looking at.
No, absolutely. In my case, I just got the black pants and a white black shirt. Nice and
Ain't
simple.
nothing wrong with a solid pair of black Dickies.
Nothing wrong, and keeping them fresh. Keeping them fresh. I don't want to have too old a pair. No, but this weekend was a fun one. I kicked things off on Thursday night at Zello Pro at the baseball field again, down in south side of Chicago. That was a really good time. It was a nice night, cool breeze. Yeah, the game ran late again, of course, so we didn't start till about 10 o'clock. But the crowd was so into it. It was a really fun time. Um, Another 3-4 matches in total. Davy Bang and Angel Escalera is the final match, and that was a good one. Good 450 splash. I like seeing high flying moves in an outdoor setting, and that was a really cool move to see.
I like doing high flying moves in the outdoor setting when I don't have to worry about a ceiling.
It's just the feeling is endless. There's an open feeling in the air. But yeah, that was a fun time on Thursday. Fun to do those shows midweek. It makes for a good wake up the next morning, but we make it happen because it's so much fun. You never regret it, and always take a lot out of it. And then Friday night, ICW in West Atlas. That was a good time with the brothers and sisters and the whole crew. Really enjoyed it. Kick things off with the Sierra Chucky Gunner Raven match, numero uno to start that card. That was good. You guys been in a bit of a feud as of late, and this one ended up bringing some weaponry into the fray. Steel chair shots were abundant.
Yes.
Mhm.
I ran into Sierra before the match saying, "Hey, make sure you leave this chair here. I'll be back for it."
Yeah, I mean it was a hard hitting match, and ended with some Legos being displayed. But that was fun. Next match was Dis against Jonah, and good old CJ Cole earning a title opportunity. That was really cool with Dysfunction in there, and yeah, good back and forth. Crowd was into it. Really fun to have a Dysfunction match inside Milwaukee, as well as a Sierra match inside Milwaukee. Um, yeah, two that I've seen from my first shows. And again, anytime I'm inside the ring when those musics hit, um, it really hits home. But slowly our music is starting to give that to me as well. So as you guys go out there and I'm in the ring for your matches, seeing your intro, um, it hits me at a different level now too. So I like experiencing those certain things. Um, and then the main event was Joey Jett against you and Eugene against Jax and Priest. And yeah, that was a good tag team match. Eugene, man, I'd be lying if I didn't think every time I see him, um, whether it's on TV or this is the second time I've seen him in person. Uh, First time he drove through a blizzard, like 16 hours to get to that show.
He did.
So much respect and love and humble, gratuity goes into it. That guy, he does it. Um, and I always think back to one of my favorite moments of all time wrestling. And that's the moment he had that t-shirt gun and he hit William Regal below the belt with that t-shirt gun. My God, it still gets me to this day as one of the funniest moments I've ever experienced and watched in wrestling. Um, so yeah, that ability. He's always good in my book.
Yeah,
Shenanigans
and
happen.
he's always been because I met him both times. I guess you've seen him, Perch. So yes, he's been dope both times and has had some type of travel issues and still makes it to the show, and it's well appreciated.
Yeah, just a good dude, a hard worker. I think he runs his own school and shows out there too. So comes from the roots that we do as well of learning the business from the ground up and working your way through it. Um, but yeah, it was a fun time. Crazy shenanigans at the end of it as the Rose Dynasty came in and wreaked havoc. I tried to help Priest. Yeah, Priest was getting beat up. I came out, tried to help him. Uh, Next thing I know, Drake Daniels picks me up and puts me in the torture rack. um,
Not
yeah,
a fun place to be in.
yeah, it's not the greatest. Although my shirt was pretty wet from sweating, I think it dried while I was up in the torture rack. So it it does have those qualities to it. The next day, Saturday, was freelance wrestling, freelance underground wrestling, and that was on IWTV, and we kicked things off with a triple threat match with Damn the Dad on pre-Father's Day. The crowd was really into that. It was a cool scene.
I did watch that show. I guess I could add that to things I watched. I did watch that show.
It was cool at the brewery on Church Street. Nice venue, a nice place, and that whole freelance crew is so much fun to be around. Yeah, Dan the Dad against Trevor Outlaw against one of Gunner's former tag team partners, Darius Luttrell,
Interesting.
and he was dunking on guys, and he was kicking ass.
Yeah,
Big
being
fan.
rough in the paint. I saw throwing them modes.
It got me. I loved it. That was a great match. I really enjoy triple threats, scramble matches, multi-man matches. It's fun to see all the characters come out and shine. Then Angel Escalara came out again, and he had a match with a mystery opponent. And we're waiting there to see who it's going to be, and all of a sudden, the entrance songs of all entrance songs in Chicago wrestling hits, and
I
it's
wanna be the very best. No one ever was.
oh yeah, none other than Kylie Ray making her return to freelance underground wrestling. Yeah, that was a very loud atmosphere at that point. Very cool to be a part of. Her and Angel put on a banger of a match. The crowd was behind it the whole time. She was healing it up, but crowd was, really giving it right back. So it created a fun dynamic and a very intense finish, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, looking back at pictures and stuff, was seeing matches with Kylie Ray back at like 2019, back when at the Elks Lodge, her and Sarah, and I think her and Elena Black. Cool to have history and working with people now we can say over the years, and when we try to get better every step of the way, it's fun to be with like-minded people who are trying to do the same thing. It makes for a awesome time performing and giving the fans what they want. Next match was Laney Luck against Billy Starks. That was really fun. Billy Starks is someone who I've gotten to ref a couple times throughout the states, and Laney Luck is the champion. Ended with Laney Luck getting a submission, and I like submission finishes too. And then the final match, the main event, was the champion GPA taking on Kelvin Tankman. Kelvin Tankman, absolute beast, absolute monster. Heavyweight hustle. The guy is just a good pro wrestler all around, as is GPA. But GPA probably gave up about 200 pounds in this match, so he had to rely on other ways to keep his title. In which case, he had Kelvin Tankman in an ankle lock, and I was seeing if Big Tank wanted to submit. He didn't. He was hanging in there, but he kicked his leg, throwing GPA past him right into me.
Yep.
So,
The belly shot.
so I took a spear from picture Kelvin Tankman, the size of those legs, swinging GPA right into me.
Yeah. Good.
Took my ass out.
I mean, not good for you, but good for me.
The body was already stretched from that torture rack the night before. Was able to carry it together and piece together the body. But that shot from
those wrestlers picking a body part on a ref, such good workers.
that's they know I've been working those ads.
Like Drake up in Wisconsin was already working the abdomen. Let's go right back to it.
Went right back to it, and this one took me out. This one I was out, and I started to come to in a big 1-2 kick out. One thing led to another. GPA rolled Tankman up, and a 1-2-3 still champ. It was wild time. Great shows, fun weekend all the way around.
Awesome.
Loved it.
Awesome. And then as for me and Zach, your mama's favorite tag team, Friday we were at ICW defending our ICW tag team championships against the Rose Dynasty. And unfortunately, things did not go the way we like. Why don't you tell them about that, Zach?
Yeah, Friday was very bittersweet. We had our match against Mav and Ethan. We also knew they had a new edge to them. It kind of sucks because we had a historic run and we had a guy specifically come out and take care of us to make sure the Rose Dynasty doesn't do what the Rose Dynasty does, and of course our match to go fair, helping us secure this historic piece of this historic run, and that's the Swagnificent one.
Yep.
Jared Jackson, man, I've won tag titles with a man you tagged with plenty of times, a man who like is kind of the blind third country air if there was ever a man to bring
Yeah, if
in.
there was ever a third person in country air, it's probably Jared Jacks.
There's so much history with us and Jared. Like Jared, I won my first belt with Jared. You, like I said, like yeah,
Jared might have been the first person I ever tagged with, actually.
There's so much history there. Like the Swagnificent country turbo air. Like it could have been a thing.
Yeah.
But Jared blasted me in the face with the belt. Mav and Ethan connected with a Wave Rider, and our ICW title reign is over.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other opportunities where me and you could have been tag champs, just miscommunication and like some of us weren't there or whatever. But like it was our first ever tag title run, first of many, I hope. We've been putting in a lot of work, and not only did we get to be tag champs, we got to be the longest reigning in 15 years. We like got to not just make a statement, like we just become tag champs. We like got to cement our place at ICW.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Don't know when we fall going forward to ICW. That's one of those things that you have to sit down and we'll like regroup and talk about. But yeah, ICW did not end on a high note for us this time.
Nope, definitely not. It was a fun run. Thanks to all the fans for all the support. But Rose Dynasty, I'm sure you know that this isn't over. We will see you again down the road. But more importantly, we had a couple surprise returns at the end of the night, didn't we, Zach?
Oh my God. We all have to address this. So Rose Dynasty at the end, I don't know, the shenanigans, they kicked out
well, Perch was out with a torture rack, so he probably couldn't see much of what was going on.
They jumped Purple Rain Priest. They jumped Purple Rain Sean Priest. Tell him to go find himself. Oh, he found himself, all right. The unholy one, Sean Priest, pops out and clears house. If that wasn't enough, I'm pretty sure all four of us are on this podcast, and all four of us talked about this. All four of us agreed if it happened on ICW, it'd probably be the biggest pop. None other than Take My Breath Away hits the arena. And the Marman, after so long, finally returns. And I don't think there was anyone sitting. Everyone was up on their feet. Everyone was totally shocked. Even the guys in the back who saw Mario just hanging out, they couldn't believe it. What a moment.
I couldn't believe it. I saw him. I didn't know that's what he was there to put in that type of work.
So the Marman, when we talk about the heart of ICW, Mario is the heart. And that was such a great moment. I had to like kind of hide in the back, and I wanted to be out there. You just felt the energy, and it was great feeling. Awesome moment. If you weren't there, try to look it up. I know a couple fans have shared that moment, and it's just nothing beats Mario and the fact that he's back and he's at ICW and he's ready to go. If I was Drake Daniels, you might have the Rose Dynasty, but I'd be worried.
Yes, sir. Yes. It's great to have the Unholy One, and it is great to have Mario back in wrestling again. Okay. So Saturday, I made the trip to Iowa for Black Wrestlers Matter 2. It was an awesome event. I was there for the first one last year. It was my first booking of this year, immediately after the show last year, with no idea what I was doing. I knew earlier in the week, John West hit me up and said, "Hey man, we're going to change up the format from last year. We're going to give you a match, you versus Lord Bankston out of the Nightmare Factory down there." So he's actually roommates with Anthony Agogo. I spoke about it a little bit earlier. He had a match on Dark today versus Will Hobbs. He did the commentary last year as well. Just a really multi-talented guy. So what I do want to talk about a little bit going into this is it was a magical weekend. It really felt like family coming back together. It was that like old school cookout feel, just seeing everybody again. All the Minnesota homies. Devin, Russell, all those guys were out there. All the St. Louis homies, Outlaw, Station, Blue Dragon, they were there. So it was just a great feel all around. Good to see everybody. So wrestling, we do it. We know nothing ever goes as planned. So originally we were supposed to be the main event of the pre-show, with the pre-show starting at 6:30, hopefully ending at 7:20 for the free stream on Facebook and YouTube. But of course, nothing ever starts on time in wrestling. So pre-show didn't start till 6:45. Yeah. So me and Darian, we're in the back looking at our phones. The match starts with a For the Culture Rumble. Last year's winner was DeLorean Diggs as a champion. Going into this year, he got to pick his spot. He came in at number 1 this year, went the whole gauntlet and won it again. But for me and Bingston, we saw that you won it at 7:03, and there's another match before us. So this has to end at 7:20. So we're getting a little worried. Happy for the homie Diggs, but worried about our spot. Next match goes on. Have a pose off to start off. I mean, yeah, some body guys, but we're watching that time fade, and it's starting to panic a little bit. But it's probably like 7:15 where I just look at John and I'm just like, hey, realistically, how long would you like us to go on for? I know you preferred this around the 10-minute mark, but it's 5 minutes till the pre-show ends. I mean, you can put us on and it not stream, and we can get our whole, we can have all the time we want. And then the big homie, Chris Manning, comes in, did a lot of promo pics for a lot of the fellas out here that you see right now, comes on and says, hey, let's just move them to the main show. So we end up opening the main show, and I think we put on a barn burner.
Bro, like Twitter, it's good, because all over Twitter I've been seeing like high praises about that match.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like everybody enjoyed it. Shout out to the Bingston. It was a great match. Not gonna lie and not give him the credit he deserves. He put a lot of that together. I mostly made some edits here and there, but most of that was his idea. So I can't not give him any less praise than he possibly deserves. Great guy. Like I said, down there at the Nightmare Factory, he had a match on Dark today. Check it out. He did commentary last year. He did commentary this year as well. And also, there is that rumor floating around of, did commentary really drink a bottle of Henny throughout the show? Yes, they did. They did finish that entire bottle of Henny. Bingston was part of that.
Talk about overall pro.
Yeah.
Right.
Overall pro. Great guy. So check him out. Give him a follow. Lord Bingston on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, I believe. BENGSTON. He said trains out there down at the Nightmare Factory. So hopefully we'll see him doing big things more with AEW.
Is
Then
it one's number 3 coming?
well, I don't know. I'm hope. Well, June 19th is on a Sunday next year, so very possibly I would say June 19th, 2021 or 2022. But we'll see how that goes. But after that match, I made the magical 5.5 hour drive in about 30 minutes to Milwaukee because we have a Brew City show as well.
Super, super grateful for Doc to show up. He shows up, man. Like I'm talking about, Doc shows up already, like in gear. We're warming up. I look at Doc. I'm like, "Yo, we need a drink, don't you?" And Doc's like, "Yeah, I'll take a
Hell
drink."
yeah, that was a very stressful drive for 30 minutes.
And that was one of those that like you couldn't have been there more on time. And just a series of unfortunate events. We should have went to get drinks together because Max, James, and Brandon are just we asked them for a fair fight, right? We said man up 2-on-2, fair fight.
But obviously they cannot do that.
Like they had to attack Doc. Hopefully like your concussion protocols at the hospitals went well.
Yep.
Seems like they're doing fine. So sitting there, Bruce City, had Doc, super highlight of my life. Like my homies here. It went well. And then taken away within like I go upstairs to the bar, literally sees Doc for a minute, go upstairs to the bar, come back and get told by Frank, Doc is going to the hospital. What? So now I'm like kind of brewing, hanging out. As I'm hanging out on the merch table, because we have 8 matches and match 4 just happened, and I'm ready to try to get my head a little bit clear and sling some merch. Whiskey Bent and Hellbound's music goes off. So I'm like, oh, we're going now.
Yep.
Even better. I rush to the back, pop out, and just to unload on I had decided like if Doc's not here, I'm gonna still do this. Like we can't we're not gonna back down to a fight 2-on-2, 2-on-3, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. It doesn't matter. Like this is kind of getting annoying. We went out there. I went out there, got a little bit up on them. Unfortunately, the numbers game does play a factor. And at one point, I hit not Brandon Blaze. Roadhouse decided to get cocky and pose. Like, you're not gonna pose in the middle of the ring on one knee.
Roadhouse, you have no neck. You can't pose.
Like, don't be posing at my expense. Don't be showing off at my expense. So he posed. She'll look to his right because I came in with a swift kick to the back of the head. And just instincts alone, it crawled to my corner. Realized Doc's not there. But Nick Colucci popped up and made the hot tag to Nick Colucci. At that part, just none of that made sense. And of course, our match was thrown out, but it was good to know that like our numbers are starting to even up.
Yep, great to have a vet like Colucci. Always been a homie. Super underappreciated in ring. I sometimes get upset with you, Wisconsin fans, for not giving Colucci enough love for the things he does in the ring because he is super amazing.
Colucci's like the first guy I worked in a match like in my first year that gave me so much confidence, like letting me know like, hey, like you're like this, like you can do this.
Yeah, Colucci's great. Much love to him. Good to have him on our team.
Yeah, Colucci's like one of the best. And just to have him pop out, but yeah. And then because Doc was in the hospital, I don't even know where it's at, but I made right here. Got the Doc Simmons water bottle. Looking hot. We got a lot of promo pics taken for that. A lot of fans took pictures of me and you, Doc, still, so we're good.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, that was a weekend.
Sweet. Awesome weekend, fellas. Awesome weekend. All right, let's just keep it moving. And because this was such a weekend of positivity, I feel, for everybody. I pose a question to the group. What do you hope to give back to pro wrestling? I can go ahead and start first. What I hope to give back to wrestling is just my awkward enjoyment of it to other people. I haven't been shy in saying that I enjoy everything that wrestling can be, all the comedy and all the weirdness that it can be, all the full spectrum of stories that can be told. And I hope I also inspire somebody else to see that and also have that love of wrestling. I don't shy about it. Growing up, there weren't a lot of wrestlers that look like me. You know, there's not too many greatest heavyweights of all time out there to model yourself out there. So I thought maybe writing would be the way that I could get into the business. But after being exposed to the indies and seeing everything that it can be, it gave me the confidence to give this shit a try. So I just hope that someday I can inspire somebody else to do the same.
I'll piggyback off that. What I want to give back is similar to what Doc does. I want to give the joy. Like, um, there's guys like there's a lot of us that will sit in the crowd and watch the matches at before or after our match. It's just one of those where you just love it so much that like I want to feel the energy. And I want like fans like when they like remember me, kind of be like, man, like he went out there, had fun. I'm not a typical outlaw. Like I'm not like from what like the typical outlaws, cowboy riding and all that. Like I just I want to show everyone like you do what you do as long as you're having fun and you make it, it's gonna work. And I think I can speak for Doc and I with this whole tag journey. You don't really you always start off with wrestling. I don't know how many like there's probably people who do start off as tags, but I'll be blunt. I've pictured myself as a singles guy. I like figured like that's the road for me. I couldn't be happier with the road I'm at now, and like eventually I want to give back and like bring back a tag team wrestling, make it more relevant than it already is. Because on some of the promotions that I do want to work for in the future, I feel like they're lacking the tag flavor in there, and like kind of want to give back and like be a pillar to that, and be like and bring like kind of put tag wrestling back on the map.
No, I feel you. At the time, I was, I guess, my most, besides now, obsessed with wrestling. Tag team wrestling was at its arguable peak with Dudley's and Hardys and
Christian.
Edge and Christian going at it. You know, you can make that argument. So that would be, I mean, yeah, especially like the matches those guys had and how those made me feel. If I can make somebody else feel that, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
to,
get,
to piggyback off you two guys, kind of like similar thing. If I had to choose, like, kind of going two different directions with it. One thing I'd want to give fans is the same thing I felt as a fan, which would be wrestling is its own like type of kind of world separate from the real world. One of the things Tony Atlas said a few nights ago, he asked us what is wrestling. We all gave our answers, and of course they were all wrong. And then he said, "Wrestling is when fantasy meets reality," and that, along with a lot of things he told me that night, stuck with me. So yeah, it's kind of its own separate thing, and you can get lost in it and separate it from problems going on in your own like personal life or work life, just problems going on in the world. You can focus yourself on the problems in wrestling and them getting solved in a sometimes brutal and violent manner, but also fun and creative. So that's one thing. Is just like kind of have fans feel what I felt when I watch wrestling. And then if I'm ever so lucky enough to be doing this for a long time and to actually get good at it one day, give aspiring wrestlers the same thing that Tony Ellis gave me, and that's knowledge and more passion to keep doing this thing. Because sometimes a bit of a roller coaster ride. Passion for wrestling does go up and down. Uh, and right now it's at a high. So I'd like to keep it there. And if I could ever give that to someone else one day, that'd be a cool thing to do.
Yes, I can't front. Internet validation feels really good right now.
Yeah, yep, yep, it does. And wrestling's a business too, where you don't often get validation or
Yeah.
told that you are doing something good. It's
Yeah.
always ignore that part. We're gonna focus on what you're doing bad and get it
We
to a
also
level
we
that's
tend to focus on
acceptable.
what we do bad a lot. So
Yeah, it's our own fault to an extent, right?
yeah.
But it's helpful also. Like you never want to rest on your morals and just like get complacent and keeps you from, I think, working hard. But
Oh hell no. Yeah, though I enjoy the internet validation, all it has done is add more pressure to me.
yep. But sometimes positive pressure is better than negative pressure. So
Yeah. All right. I'm sure we're going to get the most poignant answer from the man in stripes.
Same as you guys.
Oh, screw you, Perch.
next segment.
No, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some of it in there, though. No, the thought, and it's been said many times since being in the business, is kind of characterizing it and finding out the overall goal changes a little bit. Getting into the business, originally I wanted to do it for myself, and I wanted to give everything I can to the business. Coming into it as a fan, I was a fan at the highest level, and I realized, you know what, I'm an able-bodied person. I'm a hardworking Midwesterner with a lot of life ahead, and I'm very passionate about pro wrestling. How can I give myself to the business? And trying to find some sort of a way to enhance that the person I was as a fan can continue to be a fan for everybody else. So getting into the business, found out, oh my God, now that we're in here, we can learn everything about the business from the ground up, from setting up the ring to putting on a show to telling stories that last a week, that last a month, that last a year, to working for companies and companies with workers, with family that we have, for Brew City and ICW. The shows all have such meaning to them, and as much meaning as it has to us, it has just as much meaning to the fans. So everything that I like to do, as we like to do in the business, is to give every opportunity we can for the fans to enjoy every show, every match, every moment, every time we walk through that curtain, to let the fans escape for a moment, or not that you have to escape from a lifetime, but I go to sporting events to have a good time. I go to wrestling shows to have a good time. If I'm doing my job inside the ring to enhance everybody else, that it ensures that I'm doing everything I can to make someone else have a good time that night or that day, or, in videos, they last weeks, months. If we can paint a picture inside that ring consistently to provide great moments for fans over time, that's about as fulfilling of a feeling as I could ever wish to accomplish. Um, so, something along those lines, or simply put, I want to help make the industry better by the time I leave than it was when I first entered. But that comes to working hard as we do, studying, always being a student, always consuming as much as we can, and getting out what we put in so we can learn, use that knowledge, enhance everybody as a fan, and pass that knowledge on to the workers to continue the cycle like the veterans do for us. Pro wrestling's been around long before us. It's going to be around long after us. We have to do our part to diligently put in hard work to give the fans the best show they can get, and not taking the easiest way out or the simplest way or any nights off, because none of us do. A show isn't just a 10-minute match. A show is an entire day or an entire weekend or an entire month devoted to it that we put in and we work our butts off. So as long as we consistently put in everything we can, night in and night out, we're going to do our part to help professional wrestling continue and be a little bit better with our time in it.
Thank you, Perch.
I like your first answer better. I kid.
Word.
Right.
Tough one to sum up, and you don't get asked many questions. I don't get asked many questions in a day, but we're all so passionate about it, and anyone listening to this is certainly passionate about it.
Yeah, because we thoroughly suck. So if you're listening to this, you really got to wrestling.
should have taken it home 20 minutes ago.
Taking it home like 27 episodes ago.
What do we hope to get back to the business? Not this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hopefully not a broken waffle machine at the hotel.
Yeah. All right. So let's bring it back up with some excitement and let's talk about what we got coming up this week.
Now that we buried our own show.
Yeah, now that we buried our own show, let's talk about some shows that'll be better.
I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
Let's see. What do I even have this week? I don't know. Saturday, wrestling for BCW at somewhere. Elroy Fair, maybe?
Yeah, Elroy.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Got it right. Yep, no idea what I'm doing yet, who I'm wrestling or what is going on. But yeah, Saturday, Elroy Fair in Wisconsin, wherever that is, I do not know, but I will be there come Saturday.
Awesome. Perch, what you got?
Got a little bit of the Elroy Fair, baby. We'll be on that
Alright.
ride with Gunner. We're gonna have ourselves a good road trip. I'm sure all of us cumulatively will find the best way to ride, and we're gonna have ourselves a good old-fashioned fair and festival show and a Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
And then right down to Chicago early next morning for Galley Lucha on a Sunday show.
Awesome. Yeah, go check out all the homies on Galley. Perch, La Sociedad Barriqua, which is Rico de la Vega, Axel Rico, Chico, and Chuco.
And Ricky Cruz as well.
Cruz, yes, and Ricky Cruz. Go check out all the homies over there. Zach, what we got this week?
Saturday we're at Elroy as well. Your mama's favorite tag team. Her rumors what we got. I mean, fans just show up and watch us do our thing. And then Friday, Doc and I will both be out in Fond du Lac, compete in singles matches.
Yes. Rarity that happens every once in a while. I don't even know if I'm defending my title in this match. I assume I am.
I assume you are too.
Yes.
Hold up. You have a title there?
Yeah.
Dude, Doc is the heavyweight champ.
I'm the heavyweight champ there.
Hell yeah.
I told you, greatest heavyweight of all time. I'm going to assume I'm defending my title. I'm willing to put up my title against Rip Ryan Summers in a cage match.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm a wrestling Salem Crane.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Respect. Two fire singles matches, a rarity that you will get from Country Air in this day and age.
This match, like me and Salem were supposed to happen like a year ago. Like after I won the Frontline Top Prospect, I was supposed to do like a whole thing with Salem, and just never happened. I mean, COVID happened, stuff like that. But Yeah, this will be the first time me versus Salem, so I'm super pumped about that.
Yes, similarly. This was like one of the last things I did before COVID. Like that weekend with Perch. I won the live pro wrestling heavyweight title. Went down to St. Louis for ROH. I think we did ICW the next weekend, and that was it. Everything shut down.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, don't forget Kane's in there too.
yeah, well, yeah, lots of Raising Canes. Shout out
Isn't
to
it-
Raising Canes opening up here in Madison. Had you guys on the way to ICW last weekend. Expect to see me more often.
Hey Doc, can we put in an order for pickup on Elroy?
Is that in my direction? I
don't
really haven't looked.
I mean, it's more, I don't know, more in Madison than my direction.
We'll take a look. I drive like an old man, so I wouldn't want to bring you cold fried chicken.
If it's Canes, I don't think it'll be bad.
Uh,
Happened one time for West Virginia.
yeah.
Doc woke me up early. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna change your life right now." And I was like,
Hey.
I've never had Canes.
Oh,
Sorry, I said that.
maybe.
One day.
We don't have to ride. You know, if things.
Joe's lucky.
Yeah,
He's lucky.
yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll make sure you get some. We'll make sure you get some canes.
raising cane and hash and waffles, take it home. That's a
Yeah,
perfect-
yeah. I mean, hey, chicken and waffles is delicious. So you can get some Raising Canes with some waffles. That's probably going to be a solid combination.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's our weekend. Country will be representing singles and tag.
Yep, full weekend for us. All right,
First,
Gunner.
is there no Zello this Thursday?
No.
Oh,
Oh, well, keep an eye out for the next time they're at the baseball game.
Yeah, there's plenty more coming up. It's a dollar beer night and wrestling night down at the ballpark. There'll be plenty more throughout the summer. It was nice that there was
Wait,
two in a
Dollar
row.
Beer Night is Dollar Beer Night always on Thursdays?
I'm not sure, but it is wrestling night. Dollar beer. Only times I've been to that stadium, it's been dollar beer night and wrestling night. They play a
Okay.
bunch of wrestling songs during the music intros and stuff. So as far as I know, every night could be dollar beer night. And that's
I like the way you think, Perch.
I just walk up and say 2 waters and they don't charge me.
Yeah, all right.
I'm that dude. I'm that ref busting, working all the matches through the night. They know. They know.
Yeah. All right, Gunner, do you have a question to end the night with?
I think I do. I don't know if I've had a similar question to this before, but if I did, let me know. If you could pick one person that you could have a tag team match with, this could be a legend, alive or dead, because I got the pleasure of working with Tony Atlas this last weekend. You could pick one person to have to be your tag team partner. Who would that be, and what would your tag team name be? And country air, you guys cannot pick each other.
All
Yeah,
right.
I see the disappointment. I knew you were gonna use that cop-out answer, and I stopped it. I'll go first, quick, give you guys time to think. I would choose. Yes, it's no surprise. I choose Undertaker for reasons that everyone probably already knows, and we would be called Undead Instinct because screw Chucky.
All right, I thought of mine. My tag partner would be Steve Blackman, and we would be called Black and Blacker because I'm drunk.
Have you thought of this before?
No, just now.
You can work on the fly.
But I do like
That's an
Steve
amazing
Blackman.
name.
But I do like Steve Blackman. Real big fan of him when I was younger, and I think he's super underrated. And I think we have actually a style that would mesh very well. So it actually works
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
Doc, who would I pick as my tag partner? Like
I
Who I
feel
thought
like
I
the
know.
world would want you to pick Adam Page, but I don't know. For some reason I feel like you and Taiji Ishimori would have good chemistry for some reason. That's why I want you to wrestle him as well.
I'll
Can
have
I
to
take
look
a
him up.
guess?
Yeah, you take a guess.
Would it be the Ass Man? Bill Gunn?
Wrong.
Oh, really?
It's the other one.
I would tag with the Road Dog Jesse
Dog,
James.
yeah.
All-time favorite wrestler.
That's close.
We would either be called the Country Dogs or
Woof woof.
Road Outlaws
Pew pew.
or New Age Outlaws, Current Age Outlaws. There we go.
There you go. There you
The
go.
newer Age Outlaws.
Or Country Age Outlaws. There's so many ways. Like that's my. At first when he said tag match, I was like, oh, who we want to work? Doc already knows this. I've been saying I want New Age Outlaws. To me, that's the dream match. But yeah, Road Dog Jesse James I would have to tag with him.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I want you to tag with Taiji Ishimori.
I mean, Jared Jacks lost his spot as the third man.
Yeah, we'll just make a call real quick. Sure, we can afford that.
Wait.
All right, Perch, who would you tag with?
Man, hands down, Triple H. I would be his. I'd be little H, and it would be a good spot, man. I would be the exact mini version of him, just jacked to the gills, and I would have it down. Little sledgehammer too, probably.
The mini one.
Yeah, full Aquafina still, but I would rock it. I would do it to a T, just as Charles Robinson did for Nate. I would tag to my best of my abilities if I was with Triple H. I think he would bring the best out of me.
I'm sure he would.
Would you have some stupid ripped jeans tucked in with a stupid dumb t-shirt?
Oh God, yeah. I would certainly have some jeans and a stupid tucked in shirt with no belt. and I would go, size small too, of course, and
Of course.
just jacked.
Got to make sure they keep those leg gains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would hope we'd be wearing that hat too at that time, but without hat, just fine.
All right.
I think that wraps it up.
That wraps it up. We can take it home.
Take it home at Little H.
Take it home at Little H. All right. This has been the Take It Home